And should we start with a card trick? Would you like to?
Pick a card.
I wish I could actually do a card trick. I like the visual. So
Did you spend all day getting that fan all set up? Because I would have to.
yeah. It took a couple times actually glued together, so I don't have to.
Oh,
It's movie
perfect,
magic.
perfect.
All right, so thanks so much for joining me today. I've got Colin Krawchuk talking about the Jester 2, which comes to theaters for a two-night only event, September 15th and 16th, 2025. It is the sequel to a film that was based on a short. It stars a lovable but hateable villain. It has some really great practical effects and, a nice balance of horror and humor. I'm very excited to talk to you, so thanks so much for joining me. And should we start with a card trick? Would you like to?
Pick a card.
I wish I could actually do a card trick. I like the visual, so.
Did you spend all day getting that fan all set up? Because I would have to.
Yeah. It took a couple times actually glued together, so I don't have to.
Oh,
It's movie
perfect,
magic.
perfect. We should have thought of that on the film. It would have taken less time.
Hey, you need everything to be practical. You need the magic to be real.
That's right.
So this is a sequel to a film that was based on a series of shorts. So let's go back to the original Jester short. What was the inspiration for the Jester? What caused you to birth this lovable magician clown killer in the being?
Well, I like that you use the word lovable. I've never heard the Jester described as that, but I do think it's appropriate. So thanks for that. But the shorts were actually they were a response to the two previous horror shorts that we had made in the 2 years prior to the Jester, which were what was it? No, it was Creep and On My Way. And we were trying to make a horror short every year for Halloween. And those two, they had like masked loonies running around for both of them. And for this one, I was like, I don't want to do the same thing again. So let's buy a mask and do a different thing again. Um, so that yeah, the jester was like, let's not have a maniac screaming and waving a machete around this time. Let's have this guy be cool and collected, and you know is 3 steps ahead of you, and just loves what he does. And it was not so much like being struck with a singular inspiration, but it was more a response to our own previous work.
Yeah, no, that love of what he does definitely comes through. That's why I kind of he is lovable because he is just kind of like this performer, even though he's doing some terrible things. Like in
Yeah.
some of the downtime, you can tell that he is just like doing magic and very good at it. So it kind of like balances the horror to make this character be like kind of funny and silly and a little bit sinister.
There is an innocence to him, kind of. It's like he doesn't know where the line is for a
Yeah,
lot of people.
yeah, exactly. So you then made the original Jester in I think 2023, sometime around there, and now you have a sequel. What made you want to continue his story? Would you just want to like tell a little bit more of his origin, or did you just have more ideas in mind that you wanted to like get out?
Well, it was I really wanted the I really wanted to make something that really felt like it captured the essence of the short films. Um, and the short films, they have a whimsy to them, and they have an atmosphere of fun that feels connected to the holiday, like the time of year as well. So I just was like, I want to do something where the jester is the protagonist. I want to, like, similar to how he is in the short films. If you had to pick a protagonist from those, it would be the jester. So I that was kind of a challenge for us, was can we make something where the jester is the main character? And we came away, I think, from this movie with two main characters, but he is one of them for sure. There's a lot more jester in this movie, and there's a lot more whimsy, I think, which I'm a big fan of, trying to incorporate those moments.
Yeah, no, definitely. You definitely kind of like I said, you feel a little bit of sympathy for the Jester at parts. I mean, towards the end, I
Yeah.
think he clearly becomes the antagonist, but there's parts where you're like, oh, that, he's, he has a certain sense of whimsy. He has a lovable character to him. Now, I assume Michael was on board when you wanted to make a sequel. How'd you find the rest of your cast, though? Had you worked with any of them before, or, did you go through a normal casting call?
Yeah, it was a casting call local to Missouri because that's where we were shooting. And I love the audition process. I actually really like because you sit with the script for so long. I have my own idea of this Max character in my head, but that's the only place she exists is in my head. Um, and it's not brought to life until somebody takes those words and interprets them the way that they will. And obviously, this movie was going to ride or die on whoever was going to portray Max. So um, it's nerve wracking, but it's also so fascinating to me to sit with these words for so long and then see all these tapes come in and different people's interpretation of these same words. And for me, I'm always wanting every audition to be the one. It's not like I open each one up and go, oh, this ought to be good. Like you want the one coming in, it's like, please be it, please be it, please be it. And when I saw Kaitlyn's audition, I was like, I didn't even want to finish it because I was like, we have to contact her right now because what if she gets a role before we have a chance to offer this one to her and we lose it? Like we have to get her. And we're so lucky that we did. I couldn't have asked for a better Max.
That's awesome. And did she have, had she done magic in the past, or was that all, preparation for her Max character?
No, she hadn't she hadn't done magic. Mike hasn't done magic. Like we are the least magical crew, I think. And we're making a movie about close-up magic. So there's just movie magic is what's happening.
Yeah.
No real magic.
Yeah, well, that is its own kind of magic. And kind of speaking of movie magic, I love the practical effects, especially the Jester's like mask. I looked at stills from the first one. This one is a little bit more sinister looking, a little bit more kind of like not grotesque, but it definitely has like a different feel to it.
hmm
What was that like? And it feels like practical effects were probably something that was important to you and also probably important to the budget as well. So, can you
Yeah.
go through that process?
Yeah, certainly important to the budget. But um the mask was something that we had our limitations in the first movie and compromises had to be made. So in this one, I it's like I didn't want this thing to be uh limited by the budget specifically. It's like I want the mask to be a certain way and I want it to feel really really close and evocative of the short film masks. And then I had the thought, it's like, what if we incorporate, the transition from mask to mask in the movie somehow? That could be fun as just a little acknowledgement to the audience. And I treated it like, well, it'd be cool if the jester, it's like he peeled off a scab too early and his mask isn't finished. So it's still kind of like growing like a scab into his face, but then also adding on top of that, he's like the ghost of Christmas Present, where as the night goes on, since he only lives one night, the mask and his skin around it and his hair are all kind of degrade over the course of the night. So you can track that through the movie. And it was it was a little extra thing for that the AD was like, great, now I got to keep track of what mask he has on at what time. But I think it's a fun little detail.
Yeah, no, that's great. I actually didn't notice that, so I have to go back and rewatch to kind of see that. But I love little things like that that you can notice and give you reason to rewatch the movie. Now, I know we have limited time. I'm gonna switch to I call it a lightning round, just like with questions about the film. I want to see how your
Oh
personal
God.
experiences map to things in the movie. Feel free to skip any of them. I won't be offended, but I try to keep them very answerable.
Okay, good.
First question. This movie takes place in Halloween. It's kind of the perfect setting. What are you going to go as this Halloween?
I've been in Halloween mode for all year, so I think I'm taking a break and I'm just gonna watch some Halloween movies this year. So no
Wow.
costume for me.
That feels a little sacrilegious after you make like multiple Halloween-based movies,
I did
but
my part. Okay, I did my part. I made the movies. I just want to eat some candy now. Is that okay?
that's fair. That's fair. Stay in. Don't be out there in the danger.
Yeah.
Next question. This is about, Max wants to be a magician. The Jester has, as a magician. Had you ever wanted to be a magician? Did you ever get like a magic set when you were a kid or ever practice that?
Ooh, you just unlocked a memory for me from when I was little. I did have, it was like about the size of a briefcase, but I did have a little magic kit. Never learned a single trick from it, but I loved playing with all the stuff. I, no, so I've never learned a thing, but I did have a magic kit. Like I think a lot of little kids have.
There we go. I think we found the origins of this story. My psychology bill will go, I'll send it later. I'll send it, through the mail. You can pay me for this session
Yeah,
later.
thank you.
Um, this movie is about a very bad deal that the Jester made. What is the worst deal that you have made, if you care to share?
Ooh, you know what? I do have an answer, but I'm not gonna share that.
All right. Well,
It's a
hopefully you've learned from
mystery.
it. Yeah, it's a mystery. You have to make a Jester movie every Halloween, or else.
Yeah, that's the deal.
Um, next question. I love the Jester's suit. This like bright orange pop. It really kind of like is a very different look than most, villains, most horror movies. What is your best suit, your go-to suit, or maybe your most like ostentatious suit?
Oh, I my go-to suit for things like screenings or parties or whatever. I like a black jeans and a blazer and a white t-shirt. And somebody one time was like, "That's all you're gonna wear to this?" And I was like, "I have to be myself, and this is who I am. I can't dress in a flamboyant thing when that's not who I am." So it's simple, maximum efficiency. That's me.
That's fair. And also, there's so much going on for like a screening or like a premiere. You don't want to be worried about
I
anything
don't
else. You
want to
don't
be
want to
worried
feel out
about
of your
that.
skin.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And if I need to
Exactly.
make a quick getaway, I can just pop the blazer off and I'm just a guy.
Always thinking, always thinking. Um, and the last question. This is about, magic tricks. What is your best trick? Do you have any sort of like magic trick, magic skill, any sort of, or maybe just a trick you played on someone?
Um, Let me see if I can do it. That's it. I
I
can make
think
a water drop sound.
beautiful. I think Zoom actually got rid of that because it has noise
Okay,
cancellation, but we'll fix it in post.
what about this one? I can do that.
All right.
That's pretty
Well,
cool.
yeah. Again, I think Zoom is very annoyed about this. Every time like I try to make a review, I have like a clap or something like that. It
Oh, okay, yeah,
filters it
yeah.
all out. So
Zoom is the ultimate critic of what it considers tricks or not.
exactly.
So
It's
it's
like, come
just
on, you
filtering. It's
you can
like,
do
no,
better.
come
You
on.
can do better.
Yeah, I will not accept that.
Well, both of those I'm sure were fantastic, and you'll have to watch the special features to actually hear what they sound like. So
Yeah.
So the movie is coming to theaters for 2 nights only, September 15th and 16th. It's a Fathom event, so you can go out and check out that movie. So, but you are out promoting the film, getting the word out, making sure people go and see this in theaters. But after people
Yeah.
see the Jester 2, is there anything they can look for next from you? Jester 3, it feels like the ending was a little bit ambiguous on what will happen next. Is there anything else on the horizon?
I will never say never to the potential for a Jester 3, but I would also I have been in Jester land for a long time, so sometimes I catch myself daydreaming about what it would be like to make a not Jester thing. So I think that would be. Oh, you're shaking your head. So I guess I'm not allowed to.
Well,
It's not part of the
that
deal.
deal is you gotta
Yeah,
make that
that's
deal.
right.
Otherwise, I don't
Like I
want to.
said, I catch myself daydreaming, but it's not a reality. It's just fantasy.
All right, so maybe some future stories, maybe a non-Jester story. We'll see if he survives,
Maybe.
not fulfilling his deal. But while you wait for some future movie, you can check out the Jester 2 coming to theaters on September 15th, 2025. This is Colin Krawchuk. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, man.